Matt, was there a big degree of satisfaction from the weekend in terms of you knew what they were going to present and you sort of repelled their challenge pretty comfortably in the end?
Yeah, it was certainly satisfying. It was we knew how massive a game it was going to be. The Hurricanes got that much respect for them, quality team. So it was just pleasing. The stuff we worked on during the week. We previewed how we want to play. We for the most part were able to do that. So it's pleasing when you, work on stuff at training, then you can implement it in the game.
That pack is humming now, isn't it?
Yeah, there's plenty of experience there that have played big games. So the challenge is put on the pack to perform and set the tone for the boys. And they had a pretty good night at the office on the weekend.
In terms of the sort of season performances, a high stakes game, obviously. But did you sense that was one of the better games you put out for the year?
Yeah, it was certainly one of our better performances, and that's what you want. I guess you want to play your best game in the last game. So hopefully we will this weekend. But like I say, we're certainly building nicely, and it was a good all-round team performance. Everyone just done their job and done what was required of them.
Did you watch the Lions game as well?
Yeah, watched the Lions game, and they're going to be a massive challenge this week. They've got obviously their full pack's very impressive as well, and they get a lot of momentum through them as well. So we know we've got to do it all again this week. It was we're in the final, and that's where we want to be, but we're going to prepare well and make sure that come Saturday we're ready to put another big performance.
Obviously, teams like them, they feel a bit bulletproof at Ellis Park. It's a different story when you come over here, though, isn't it?
Well, hopefully, certainly our stadium's a long way from Ellis Park, that's for sure. But we enjoy playing at home, and we certainly take a lot of confidence in playing at home, and we'll enjoy playing at home on Saturday, that's for sure.
On that, how significant is it for the team and for the city that we're hosting the first final here for 10 years?
Yeah, no, it's been a hell of a long time. So, as a team, we're certainly rapt to be able to play at home and play in front of our people and our family and that. So that it means a lot to us to be able to do that. And I guess the first final at this temporary stadium, I guess we'll call it. But we're certainly looking forward to being able to play at home this weekend.
I think White Crockett, Rita and Tim Bateman were in that team 10 years ago. What do you remember of that game, if anything?
I remember they won. I guess not a whole lot of that, of the actual game itself. But, obviously that was, a pretty successful team and a successful era for the Crusaders and that. So, and then obviously after that one there was a wee bit of a lull for a while. So, I guess it's good. Still got a little bit of a past experience from that team still floating around, and guys like that are massive on a week like this. Sharing their knowledge and their experience, and it's certainly very beneficial for the team.
How important is to sell out for you guys to get a big crowd?
Oh, it's massive. There's nothing better than running out and in the stands are full. It's so hopefully the fans come, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll come this week and sell it out because they make a difference, and the team certainly notices when it's a full house. That's for sure.
Just changing tack slightly. I think 6 of the 8 seasons that Scott Roots has been involved with a Canterbury or Crusaders team, he's got the win. What makes him such a good coach?
He's obviously got a good coaching group. It's not just him, so he's got good people around him. But he's anyone that knows Razor, he's a slightly different character, and he brings real energy to the team, and the players feed off that. And he's great at making each week different and each week unique. So I guess in a long season you need that. You need fresh challenges and fresh motivations and whatnot. So he's great at implementing that and building the week nicely, and making sure that come kick off you've got a game plan that if you execute it, will give you a good shot to win.
We hear a lot about the word culture within teams, and how important is your team culture, and how much has it led to the success of this team?
I think it's massive. Obviously you use a lot of players during the year, and come this time of year, obviously not everyone can play, but everyone's still got a very important part to play. So I think the better your culture is, the more that people are prepared to do whatever task it is. Whether it's starting on the bench or just outside the 23, but preparing the team and that. And when you've got everyone, no matter what role they're in, working towards the same cause and equally as motivated, it makes a massive difference. So whoever's selected this week, come kick off, they would have been prepared, well by the guys that aren't playing this week, and that makes a massive difference for us.
What is your culture? What makes it so good? What are the the aspects of it?
I guess number one, it's a team first type of culture, and everything you do is for the betterment of the team, and is it helping the team and that sort of thing. But it's about enjoyment as well. The boys enjoy coming in each day and enjoy each other's company. Everyone gets on well, and that's why it's so good. We get another week to spend another week together. So everyone was excited coming in this morning, and we'll enjoy the week and enjoy the build up and and the finals, I guess the pressure, but the whole occasion.
Tell us about the crowd numbers. Sorry, Richard, but can you just, have you been surprised by that it hasn't been filled up? I mean, this was a so-called blockbuster last week against the Canes, still couldn't sell out.
I wouldn't say that. You always want as many as you can, but I guess it's no secret they talk about the stadium's not exactly world class. And we've also, this will be our 5th home game on the trot, so it's tough. I guess there's competition for fan dollars at the end of the day, and when you finish first, maybe in the back of their minds they were potentially hoping for a final, and I guess we've got that this week, so I'm sure they'll come out this week and we'll see a good crowd this week.
Just in the Lions, would you rate their driving all right out there with the Steelers?
Yeah, certainly. It's a real weapon of theirs, and I'm not sure how many tries they've scored from this year, but it's a lot, and certainly at the weekend, they got a couple of crucial tries. It's a real momentum changer for them, not just tries, but I guess also give them field position. When they're under the pump a little bit at the start of that game, they turn to their maul to get momentum back and that sort of thing. So it's certainly an area that we'll put a lot of time into this week and have to be good there on the weekend.
So there will be extra emphasis this week than
you
usually would do.
Yeah, most definitely. When you see I guess when a team's got as big a strength as they do in that area, you're going to put some time into it. So, Jace Ryan, he'll come up with a good plan for us there, and we've got experienced guys up there that know how to do the job. So it's just making sure we've got the right plan, and everyone's I guess clear on that plan.
Because technically it's quite difficult to defend against, and you have to be sort of spot on, depending on the referee.
Yeah, I think especially once you let it get set, I guess you've got to try and stop it before it gets set up. Once they're set up, they're big men, and they obviously working all well together. So I guess first not give them opportunities to get them all set up, especially down our end, and just our urgency to get in and nullify it, I guess.
Just reflecting on the win you had last year, Matt, we were looking at the photos at work and the elation of the Crusaders. I don't know if you've seen yourself, it looks like pure elation. Can you give us an idea of what your feelings were when that final was went?
Yeah, I guess it certainly was pure elation. That was my 3rd final I'd been in and lost the previous 2, so there's plenty of motivation in the group, and I think just travelling over there, we travelled over really well as a group, and we knew the challenge that was ahead of us, so we embraced that, and I guess the Crusaders had such a rich history, but it had been a few years since that they hadn't won it for, so that certainly drove the team and made that the win all that more special.